Thanks, Lynn. I've done it now twice, isn't it? Good evening. It is Monday, so it's monthly make time. I've got my cuddly on because I am very, very chilly tonight. So I'm all snuggled. I can't believe I forgot to do microphone again. Oh, there we go. I've even left the sound on my phone. Right, so I'll start that again. Good evening. Monthly make time. We are going to play with our mushrooms tonight, but I'm going to use 2 stamps. I have literally got the little tiny trio and one of the sayings, and we are going for simple and elegant. That is what we're doing tonight. Nothing complicated. I've been promising for weeks we are going to do simple and elegant, and that is what we're going to do tonight. So very, very simple, but very elegant. So should we get going? I think so. I've got to say good evening. Evening, Noella. Evening, Lim. There we go. Noelle's got her Oodie on too. Got doggies on hers. No, mine's just a grey one. And to be fair, Bear was wearing it yesterday, and I'm sure it's got all sorts down it because he was a bit chilly when he had his tea. So it probably is decorated mine, but not with stuff I want. Anyway, on that rather gross thing, should we get going? I think so. There we go. That's my right button. Just noticed my camera's not in the right place. Ooh, evening, Mum. So I've got a little 5x7 here. So you could do this straight onto your base card. However, you all know how messy I am, how messy my desk can be, because little lady's been out crafting, and I can already see I've got blue where I shouldn't have blue. Because she was using brush out at weekend. Lindsay's a pink zip up one. There we go. So everyone's got an Oodie or a cuddly. We just like to keep us snuggled. Bear's got a blue one and a Lego head one that he made himself, I will admit. And Rosie's got a black one, and she's got a mummified dinosaur one. Sounds really odd, but it isn't. It's really cool. It's just dinosaur eyes through mummy wrapping that she also made herself. So yeah, we've got a large variety. Mr. Roo doesn't have a cuddly though. Nope. Evening, Linda. Random conversations tonight. Sorry, but it's very, very chilly tonight. So I have got all wrapped up warm. To be fair, I will probably start overheating very shortly. Right. So I have got lovely 5x7. Like I was saying, you could do this onto your base card, but I am too messy to do that because I know that I will get inky pinkies all over it. I'll get ink on the back of my card, and I'll end up cutting it down and putting it back on. So I find it nice to just do a little mat. I've only taken 1/4 inch off, and then I'm going to pop it onto my base card at the end. No, this one's got a pizza one and a pigs in blanket. Pigs in blanket sounds cool. We were talking about that the other day, actually. Talking about Christmas food. And Bear, it's the one time of the year, and he went, "Ah, we get the sausages in the wrappy thing." I went, "Yeah, you know, you could have them. You could have it any time of the year, but no, he wants pigs in blanket." It's amazing what they remember, isn't it? Can't remember anything else about Christmas dinner, but his pigs in blanket he does. Right, so I've gone for the tiny one tonight, and all I'm going to do is just stamp it in this bottom corner-ish, probably there. So I'm just going to use some lovely black ink, going super simple. I did say it was going to be super simple tonight. There we go. Painting all sorts on my desk. There we go. Let's move that out of the way. So I'm just making sure I ink it up really well. I do feel very Eskimo-esque tonight though. I'm going to move it across a little bit to give myself a nice big border. Because then when we come to put our sentiment in as well, I'm going to put that kind of the same border, if that makes sense. So away from the edges, basically. Evening, Maxine. There we go. I'm just giving it a really good little press. And then, there's my heat gun. Oh, that was the gel pen that went flying. So I'm using Brusho because you know I love painting with my Brushos. So I need this really dry because otherwise my versatile clear, because that's what I use, will start to bleed a little bit because it needs to be super dry. But it's a really easy one to stamp with, so that's why I use it a lot. Making sure feels like I'm drying it forever, but I am making sure it is nice and dry. Oh, we could have embossed it, couldn't we? That would look nice. There we go. So we are literally just going to paint this. So I'm going to need a paintbrush. I'm going to use my little one, I think, tonight. And what colours have I got? I think I've used these ones before. I've got my moss green for my stalks. I've got my burnt sienna, which is that really rich red. I've got rose red and a bit of orange, just to make my mushrooms look a little bit different. So I'm going to start off with my stalk. I always start with my stalks, not sure why, but it's like my comfort. If I can get my stalks right, then I know the rest of it's going to work. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of water. We are just going to, that's got, can you see that activated a load of blue then, which I don't want, so I'm just going to test it. Yeah, because that's turned purple. I'm going to come over to this side and see what colour this one makes. Oh, it's very, very purple tonight. That's the thing with Brusho, you never quite know what colour it's going to generate on the ones that are mixed. There we go, that one's perfect. I'm going to come to this top bit. I'm just going to add a little bit in here. And it's way too watery, you can tell, because I'm leaving puddles as a paint and we don't want that, do we? I'm going to start bringing a little bit along the bottom as well. Ooh, don't like that. Did you see how I left a solid line? I did it there as well. Don't like that. We like just like blotches at the end. If I leave a solid line, it looks like I just stopped painting. Yeah, if that makes sense. Whereas if we leave it a little bit feathered, that's the word I'm looking for, isn't it? Feathered. Then it looks okay. So I'm just going to go in and start adding. I do love painting these. Can't really call this painting though, can we? Because it's just a bit too easy. Okay, because I've got a bit of darker on my brush, I'm just going to add a little bit in on this bottom bit. The very tippy tip of my brush. Okay, I'm just going to come back in. Can you see how watery that is? Too much water in my brush, so I'm just going to whack it out. See, look at all that water I'd got in there. And then again, I'm trying to pick up the raw stuff, but it's sat in the middle of a puddle, which isn't helping me. There we go. Right, I'm going to stop moaning about that. I'm going to get my heat gun and then we can start on our little mushroom heads. There we go. I'm just going to whack this with my heat gun. I'm only doing that because it puddled so much. Normally I do a little bit more, but it was starting to puddle and I could see it was about to start bleeding, so that's why I've got my heat gun. we go. It doesn't have to be perfectly dry because we've got a lot more water to go on here. A lot more colour even to go on here. There we go. Get the colour out of my brush. Whilst I'm here, I'm going to get rid of that big blue blob. I don't know if you could see it. I think she'd been using turquoise. Well, it could have been sea green, to be fair. I'm going to start with orange, and I think this one's going to be orange tonight. So I only need a smidge. So again, I'm coming in really watery. Oops, I took too much of my water away then. And now I'm going to go back in with a little bit darker. A little bit darker. And you can see the water's just pulling it. So wherever I've wet, that water's just dragging it in. It'll do the same with your distress inks, your distress oxides, your if you do your oxide sprays as well, you can do it with obviously normal watercolour paints as well. Okay, and just again just going into that real deep colour. I'm going to leave that puddle there because I might. Evening, Pauline, good to see you. I might come back and do a little bit of splashing. I'm not sure. I did say simple and I did say elegant, so we will see. I'm not going to do the red first. Evening, Sue. I'm going to do my burnt sienna. I normally do that one in burnt sienna, don't I? I'm not tonight. I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to do this one down here. Oops, I always get scared using red. You know what I'm like. Just going to come and grab my water. So now my ink knows where it can go to. We've basically created an outline using our water, and then we're going to come back in and we're going to start adding a little bit more to it. Just like that. And again, just start adding that darker stuff around the edge. You can see it moving now. I'm just going to do a little smidge down that side. Ooh, too dark. So I'm just going to come back in. You can see I've got, oh no, it didn't drip, but I thought it was going to drip. I had that much water on here. Ooh, too much. But I've just been able to make that bit a little bit darker. And remove some of that extra that I'd put on there. There we go. Right, I'm not going to mess with that one anymore. Mess. No, I didn't mean mess. Paint that one anymore. I'm just going to give it a quick blast with my heat gun actually. I did put a bit of a puddle on. There we go. It's nowhere near being dry. It's just dry. And then we're going to have the big one is going to be in rose red. Oops, that was a lot that came out then. And again, I'm not sure if we're going to do any splattering. I'll let you guys decide in a minute. Just want to come back in again. I need that really watery, pale colour to start with. But I do need some colour to it. That was a bit too pale. It's getting that balance, isn't it, between no colour, too much. Start picking up some more of that raw brushing, a little bit more, start building that colour up. I've not quite pulled it enough, so I'm just going to add a bit more water to drag that colour across. Now I've added too much. It's like 3 Bears porridge, isn't it? No, gold. Yeah, 3 Bears porridge, wasn't it? It was Goldilocks that tried to nick it. There we go. Again, I think I'm going to leave that there. I know, I'm being really brave, leaving so much activated brusher out on my desk. Is your light on like? Now can you see here? I've got this really like, well, solid edge. I don't like it. So I'm just going to come back in, get some of this wet stuff, and we're just going to pull it until we're a bit more happy with it. But because we've started to dry it, it's going to take a bit more work. There we go. It's not as solid now. It's not jumping out at me. It's not saying, oh, look at this straight edge that you just created that shouldn't be here. It's going, not as bad. I need it to be dry this time. I actually think it might be. Right, so looks pretty cute. We could use it like that and just add our little sentiment in, but I'm not. I want to add a little bit more to it, so I'm going to grab, I'm either going to go for my charcoal pencil, or I just want a little bit deeper colour. So you can see I'm a bit not sure what I want to do here. I'm going to go for, and then my charcoal pencil needs sharpening, so I won't be able to get in all the little nooks and crannies on there. So what I am going to do is just go for a bit of a brown. There we go. You can see one from here. Uh-oh. Just knock something off that I shouldn't have done. There we go. So I'm just going to go for a little bit of distress ink. So I've got frayed burlap. So it's a bit of a brown. Well, it is a brown. And coming down here. Don't know if you can still see it. Yes, you will if I do it there. There you go. So I don't need much. I could have used hickory smoke. I could have used, I think black soot would have been a bit too much. I think this one should be fine. I'm just going to make sure. Ooh, that's filthy. Try and get some of that red out of my brush. There we go. And then we're just going to, I'm not sure if I need water for this or not. It might pick up okay. Yeah, my brush is still wet enough. And then we're just going to start coming in a bit more on my gills. That's what they were called, weren't they, Lynn? The gills of our mushroom. Add in a little bit more detail. Going through there. can you see how just adding that, ooh, there we go. It did turn up in the end. Can you see just adding that little bit of frayed burlap is really getting a bit more definition to those gills. I'll do a little bit around this mushroom stalk as well here. Come in. Around this one as well. Yep, so can you just say, ooh, there we go. So you can see these two here, well, we've just put that little bit of frayed burlap in, whereas this one up here we haven't. Yeah. So again, I'm just going to go. I'm using it pretty much how it came out the ink pad. I'm trying to think how to word that. So like I say, you could use a charcoal pencil, a normal HB pencil, but I'm just using a little bit of my ink. I've not gone for oxide because it would leave that like chalky finish, and I don't want that. I want to stick with the watercolour effects we've got going on at the moment. Which is why I went for ink, not oxide. Yep. Then again, I just want to grab a bit more and get it really deep. In here. There we go. I'm just going to do a little bit up here. But hopefully you can see that little bit of extra detail I've got in just by using my distress ink. Yeah. Right. I'm actually going to do a little bit on the floor as well. So where's my ink gone? I've put it back on the shelf. That's not limey, is it? Maxine's sending her swaps tomorrow. That's fine. Anyone else who's got theirs to send them in. Did say by Friday, I think it was. But that's okay. There we go. I'm just going to add a little bit down here as well. Just using the very tip of my brush again. Just to give this a bit of an edge. To get a mud line. How cool is that? I know Jackie sent some the other day, and I know post can be a bit slow at the moment. Coming up to that crazy season. Because I was going to ask as well, because I forgot. If people wanted to do them for December, because I know we've got our Christmas card swap, but I didn't know whether we still wanted a I can't remember what it was then, an ATC swap as well. There you go. I was thinking. Maxine says no, just cards. That's fine, Maxine. I did think it might just be cards for Christmas. That's fine. Right, I'm going to leave that there. I'm quite happy with that. Can you see all that gorgeous, those gorgeous layers of colour we've got going on? Yeah. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and then I'm going to decide if I want to do anything more with this. I did say it was going to be a super simple one. I have been promising simple and elegant. No, Alice says just... I normally leave it and just do cards. I think we did. It is pretty cool, isn't it? But that was using the little one. I have been stuck using that big one, haven't I? I'm going to be really naughty and stamp on top of myself here. So if nothing's dry, I'm going to put a right inky pinky. Right, what I'm trying to do is balance it now, because I've got that quite a big border going on here. Yep. Right, I'll start that again, shall I? I know my image comes right down here and right over here, but it's not stamped in black. So what I'm trying to balance is the black of this when I stamp it and the black of this. Yeah, so if you look, I've got about the top of my little finger and probably the top of my thumb, yeah, knowing me. And that's what I'm trying to balance. Yeah, because if I do it up here, it's going to look a bit daft. If I do it down here, it looks like, whoa, she forgot about this bit up here. Yeah, but I want it right in the middle there. But I'm stamping over myself, so I'm just going to move it a little bit, trying not to put it in that red brush show I've got on my desk, because I'm still not sure if we're going to splatter or not. Yeah, so where's my black ink gone? There it is. Make sure I really ink this up, because I think this ink pad's starting to go a bit. They do work hard, don't they, those black ink pads? And then we're just going to come in here. Now I'm lining it up on the is pleased with, because nature and simplicity have got, I think I'm just going to pop it, no, I'm going to do it there, bobbly bottoms. Yeah, the only bit that's got a straight edge is that is pleased with, so that is what needs to be straight against your top and your bottom. There we go. Just make sure I don't get any inky pinkies now. There we go. I do want to just add, my mushrooms are crying out. Yeah, they're just crying out for some little like mushroomy bits, whether it's warts or whatever. I'm not going to splatter, so I'm going to get rid of this one. It would be good to do a notebook cover, wouldn't it, with this one? We haven't done a notebook this year, have we? Because the kids have asked to make some for presents. We'll have to do a notebook, because they are really quick and easy to do for gifts, aren't they? Well, I'm just making more of a mess with that now, aren't I? There we go. This is where I'm going to put an inky pinky in the wrong place. No, don't want to. So I want something, I want dark. The frayed burlap we've just used isn't going to be quite dark enough. I want something like really dark, dirty. I know what I mean. So I'm just having a quick look on my desk. So what I'm looking for ideally is either express truffle or a walnut stain. But neither of them are jumping out at me. So I'm going to go back to my brush shape, because I know where my brush shapes are. I'm going to grab a dark colour. There we go. But yeah, walnut stain or ground espresso would be fab for this. Oh, I've got foam pad stuck to my brush. I thought it was a funny shape. Or a calendar page, that could look quite pretty, couldn't it, with it? There we go. I don't need much of this at all, but I do want it pretty raw, so I'm literally just picking up enough to wet the end of my brush. Ooh, maybe a bit more than that, because I don't want to have to do too much work. I'm being lazy. Yeah, I would have had the space to do a little calendar on there, wouldn't I? So I'm just going to come in. Ooh, too much. Maybe it's too dark. Ooh, a dog's dinnered it. We'll recover though. I hope I'll recover, because it was looking pretty nice until I started doing this. But I have this thing about toadstools needing little like warts and knobbly bits. you go. I want to keep it quite pale. I think it's that kind of fairy tale, isn't it? That I think it's called toadstools. So it makes me think of a toad. I could have dotted it with a black pen, couldn't I? But I just wanted that little bit of ink. Because I think you get a bit more like depth, don't you? With your right, I'm going to stop and see what that looks like when I've dried it. And I only put it on the dark side of them. It sounds like something out of Star Wars, doesn't it? The dark side. There we go. It did work. Except for that first one, it was a little bit too much. So I was kind of banking on. Oh, you can't see. That's a great shot, isn't it? You can see exactly what I've done there. Won't be a second. I was banking on because I'd used quite a bit of water. You would get that little like watery effect. Hold that up. There we go. And I bet if I got the white, I could do some on the other side, but I'm not, because I do like that. I do like how that has turned out. I'm not going to do anything else on that. I did say simple. I did say elegant tonight. Let me just clean my paintbrush. But yeah, would make a lovely front cover on a book. Just remember though, because you are using Brusho, or if you're using your distress inks, because you'll get a very similar effect using your distress inks, make sure you cover your book with a bit of sticky back plastic, because otherwise it will activate every time you touch it with water. Because if I spritz that now, obviously I'm not going to do that, but if I were to spritz it, it would reactivate and it would just start to bleed everywhere, because it doesn't set, because it is Brusho or distress ink or oxide as well. So I would, if I was doing this on the front of a book, it would be one that has sticky back plastic. Yeah, you know what I mean. So that is just going to go on there like so. I'm not going to stick it down, because little lady said you might need some new tape. Do you think? That is literally all she left on the roll. I don't think I'm going to get much stuck down with that. I did tell her where my new ones were, but she didn't get me one out. You could spray it. Just personally, if I've spent time painting that, I know it hasn't taken that long. How long has it taken? About 40 minutes. If I spent time painting that, I would prefer a more robust, especially on a book, a more robust cover, because a spray would seal it, absolutely, but it's not going to protect it from dinks and scrapes, whereas if you put the sticky back plastic on it, it makes it a little bit more robust. And especially when it's like the kids doing front covers for their teachers and things like that, you know those books are going to be used in a classroom, so they're going to get bunged in bags and things like that and moved around a lot. So I always try and sticky back plastic those ones. This one, if it was just mine that I was going to sit and use from time to time, like a notebook on my bedside table, yes, a spray would be fine. But definitely if I'm going to be taking it out with me and things like that, I would make it a little bit more robust. Yeah, hope that makes sense. Anyway, that is it. 2 stamps, a little bit of paint, and we have finally done simple and elegant, I hope, with this stamp set. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. On a calendar for someone, they're not going to be manhandling it, are they? They're not going to be putting it in the bag every day, so a spray would be perfect. But something like a notebook that they're going to be handling all the time, just a little bit of sticky back plastic would be better. So, saying that, I haven't got a clue where any of my sticky back plastic is. I must dig it out. So, where have we gone? Where have we gone? You are there. I do keep losing you, don't I? So, that is it for me today. That was very, very quick, wasn't it? But I did stay simple and elegant. No splatting, no inky pinkies. I should at least get a little sticker for that one. No inky pinkies. And it turned out really, really cute. I do like that. But I do love this set. I have had so much fun playing with this set. We'll be playing with it again on Monday. Will we? I can't remember. What's the date on Monday? Let me just double check. I've got a feeling it's the 4th. So next Monday, and because it's the 4th, we're opening an envelope and our advent calendar. So our live on Monday will be advent calendar, and the week after, I can't do 4 plus 7, the 11th, we will be opening our new monthly make. That's super scary. 11th of December in 2 weeks time. Anyway, so rest of this week, we're not going to have a live on Wednesday, but on Thursday at 7:30 we will be kicking off our advent calendar making. I'm not going to show you inside, but making our own little 4x4 journal. Actually, I can show you half of it, not all of it. There you go. So we'll be making our own little journal on Thursday night to kick off our advent calendar, which I will be decorating over the time of our advent calendar. Yeah, if that makes sense. So that'll be Thursday at 7:30, and then we'll be back on Monday to open day 4 of our advent calendar and our first envelope of 2023. Where does the time go? So I do hope you can join me then. So Thursday 7:30 for kicking off of our advent calendar. Really has come around fast this year. Have you got a plastic cover on there? I haven't got a plastic cover on that one yet because I want to decorate my front cover as we go along. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I think that is everything. Oh, monthly makes. If you want December's monthly make, they will be going out on Friday, so you have until Thursday night to sign up for it. So, oh, it looks like I haven't, honest. It's just card and paper. Well, no, card. More card than paper. If you want to join us to craft along on Thursday, the kit list is on Facebook, and it should be on the inspiration page of our advent calendar as well. But I will post it out again. So if you want to craft along, you can do. So I will see you on Thursday at 7:30. Thank you for joining me tonight. I had loads of fun making that. You can tell, can't you? I've got no ink on my hand. Look. So thank you. See you on Thursday 7:30 to kick off our advent calendar. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.